First, just in terms of the comments that you heard from Vice President Harris there, a lot of enthusiasm. The past couple of days, it seems as though she has a lot more energy, a lot more confidence in front of her audiences. What did you take away from that?
Well, I mean, she does have a lot more confidence. She should be. I mean, she's been the vice president for the last 4 years, and been out there on the campaign trail seemingly for the last 4 years because she knew that they were going to run again. And so, now it's the very end. This is the final pitch. You have to engage your audience and make them feel like you're going to win no matter what you think. The polls are still super close. She had some good news out of that Iowa poll, whether it's skewed or not skewed. But I think that she has a lot of the word salad stuff continuing. That last bit about building community. I don't know what that means. I want to hear about the economy. I want to hear about inflation. I want to hear about how we're going to keep our nation safe.
I mean, it's a nice idea to be unified. It's a nice idea to look at a stranger, look at somebody you disagree with and treat them as a neighbor. But it's also a very lofty goal, Mychal, for people in this country who don't agree with each other and can't get along on their keypads and their phones and social media, let alone when they look each other in the eye.
Yeah, I mean, the building of the community, I think she's also appealing to those Reagan-democrats or those blue-collar workers, up there in the blue wall, whether it's Pennsylvania, Michigan, or Wisconsin. I think she does have a lot of energy now, and I think partially some of it is because of Trump's ramped-up rhetoric, especially towards women. And now you're seeing that in the Iowa polls. And so I think that may be having an effect. And, thankfully, Biden's little gaffe that he made regarding Trump's voters doesn't seem to have that much of an effect right now. I thought it was going to be very detrimental to Ms. Harris's campaign.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll wait till Tuesday to find out what really is detrimental. But Jennifer, speaking of the Iowa polling, Mychal is referencing one poll, the Des Moines Register, showing that Vice President Harris is leading President Trump in a state that he's won handily twice. So I want to break down the numbers here. And there are some who say that the statistics around this poll are very, very old school, but really leaning towards the women voters in Iowa. The early voting overall is showing women have registered at 54%, men at 43%. So there are more women who have registered to vote. Besides abortion, what is motivating women the most this election?
Well, I mean, I think that there are a lot of issues that are motivating women. I think that, one of the issues, and this is one thing that a lot of us Republican women have in common, is the way that Donald Trump talks about women. And so that is an issue. But I think on top of it is, look, women are the primary decision makers when it comes to the economics around their house. They're the ones that are doing the food shopping, signing their kids up for lessons, making sure that their kids' homework is getting done, on and on and on. Right. And so women are primarily interested in the economy and making sure that they can put food on the table and that they can put gas in their car and that they have economic opportunities and that their kids have opportunities. But on this Iowa poll, going back to that, is women, interestingly, older women, senior women, were breaking for Harris, and independents were breaking for Harris where they went for Trump before. So I can't imagine any way in the world that Trump loses Iowa. However, this poll should give him some pause and should make the campaign look a little bit into why that happened.
Yeah. Emerson College releasing a poll same day saying that Trump is in the lead in Iowa by 10 points. Mychal, in terms of where former President Trump is in the lead, and the media and all of us are talking about it and can't get enough of it because it's so interesting to see historically over the past several years. I mean, we go back all the way to Clinton as to how many black men vote for the Democratic candidate versus the Republican. We've got Raphael Warnock, the Democratic senator of Georgia, talking about he's not concerned that young black men are going for Trump, which has been reported multiple times. Do you think that it is important to note, even if it is just a small percentage of black men making a big difference for the Democratic Party this time around?
Yeah, I do. And I think that's, hedging or was, you just never know till election day towards Trump. Because listen, there's a lot of older, just like you talk about older women, older black men, some identify with Trump. Listen, in the 80s and 90s, Trump was there with Don King, Mike Tyson. He had Herschel Walker. And so, they identify with that in that sports and the kind of that bro-tastic type of way. And I heard some other podcasts, this kind of crazy theory, but some black men said, hey, you know what? Trump is more like us than Harris is because, hey, he's got a baby mama, right? He's been shot at and he's been convicted of a felony. And so it's a little, it's the way the odds are. And he's been prosecuted or persecuted out there.
But can I interrupt? Because I've heard you talk about this before, but we're out of time, unfortunately. They're telling me you're out of time. Dang it. I got to go. I've been summoned. Thank you both for being with us. We appreciate you being patient, too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Mychal. Okay, the countdown's on. News Nation's election night coverage rooted in transparency and trust. It begins this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.